Greetings and welcome to Talk a Little, Learn a Lot, the American Society of Naval Engineers podcast. I am your host, Stephen Phillips. In this podcast, we talk a little and learn a lot about naval engineering while inspiring the next generation of STEM professionals. Today, I'm joined by ASNE Executive Director Captain Dale Kidd Lumme, U.S. Navy retired, to talk about what the organization can look forward to in 2025. Kidd, thanks for joining me today on the podcast.
Dr. Phillips, it's great to be here.
2024 was memorable for me for many reasons. It has been an honor to host Talk a Little, Learn a Lot. I also met a lot of great people in this organization last year, both through the podcast and while attending the Naval Science and Technology Symposium. Now I'm anticipating what 2025 will bring for ASNE. Kidd, would you review with us the major events that ASNE is going to host this year?
Sure. Before I get into that, I do want to say we've only been doing this for less than 6 months, and you have highlighted and interviewed some really awesome people, including Assistant Secretary of the Navy, now a former Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Research, Development, and Acquisition, the Honorable Nick Girton, in addition to Admiral Drugan and a whole slew of others. A lot of those people have been ASNE members for decades, like Secretary Girton for 35 years. So what we want to do is highlight that membership of ASNE affords the opportunity to attend these symposia, like your question, what's happening in 2025. Kicking it off, we're actually executing a grant for the Office of Naval Research called Promoting Electric Propulsion. So our first event, real event of 2025, is going to be in Virginia Beach. We have 41 universities, colleges and universities that are part of this grant, and they're this Promoting Electric Propulsion STEM grant. We call it PEP. And we have a competition, a 5-mile boat race that's going to take place at in Virginia Beach at the First Landing Street State Park. And it's going to be, this is now the fifth year that we've been doing this. This is going to be bigger and better than ever because we have unmanned vehicles and we have manned vehicles. We set a world record, a Guinness Book of World Records, one of the manned vehicles from Princeton University, going over 121 miles an hour on a battery-powered or electric-powered boat that they recorded last year. So there's a lot of fun. It's going to be a great event. We have a lot of potentially over 450, almost 500 college students that'll be looking for jobs. They have engineering degrees and they're looking for jobs in either the U.S. in the federal government or in industry. So we invite industry to come there and see these guys and maybe hire them on the spot. So that's going to be a great event.
I hope that I can attend that and hopefully interview some of the students and hear about their projects. I always find projects like that fascinating. In episode 5 of Talk a Little, Learn a Lot, you mentioned this. I spoke with Admiral Tom Drugan about the release of The Story of Aegis 15 years later. We discussed that in great detail. I recommend that everybody listen to the episode, but Kidd, could you hit the highlights about this unique volume of the Naval Engineers Journal, what it's going to contain, and when can we expect it to publish?
Sure, thanks, Steve. The original Story of Aegis we published in 2009, and we distributed it during the commission of the USS Wayne Meyer, and we had a lot of great interviews with a number of the Aegis kind of executives. This time, Admiral Tom Drugan has taken the lead on coordinating some of these new updates, what's happened in the last 15 years of Aegis. So I do want to highlight some of the authors that we have for this. First off, we have the Vice Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Kilby. So he's going to kind of give a kind of strategic look at Aegis and what's happening. Beyond that, we have PEO IWS Aegis BMD, which is Admiral Tom Dickinson. We have other articles from the Strategic Environment and Threat Evolution since 2009 from Troy Kimmel and John Gwynn and Emily Hornberger. kind of Aegis combat evolution. Admiral Drugan's going to write that article. We have a number of focus on the international world of Aegis from Mary Kiefer. We have a number of other articles for standard missile evolution, Aegis, an OpNav perspective that we're getting. Perhaps Rear Admiral Boxall is going to be part of that. I think the program office perspective is going to be really interesting because former MDA director, Vice Admiral John Hill, is going to be one of the co-authors on that with Admiral Tom Drugan. So that's going to be really insightful. And anybody that knows Admiral John Hill, he's a mentor to me. He's a mentor to all engineering duty officers, and he is just a pretty awesome individual all the way around. We do have, on an Aegis operational perspective, we have a couple authors, retired Vice Admiral Tom Roden and retired Vice Admiral Tom Copeman. I'll go a little sea story here because when I was a Lieutenant JG on the USS Lethbridge, there was an ensign, Tom Copeman, who happened to be my roommate on the ship. And years later, we connected when I was working on the legislative affairs on the House side, and he was coming in as a Senate side director before he moved up to finally be Surf Pac. So he's going to be helping write one of the articles. I just talked to him at Surface Navy Association this past week. He's pretty excited about kind of the follow-on of the operational perspective of Aegis. So from that perspective, we're pretty excited about this new edition. We're targeting potentially end of March, realistically, the middle of April. That should be both in print and a digital edition of it.
I cannot wait to pick that up. Kid, you recently attended the Surface Navy Association annual conference. I'm jealous. I wish that I had been able to attend. What were some of the naval engineering highlights from that event?
I think the highlight for me was during the breaks, a 60-second video was showed by the Surface Navy people, and it showed all the upcoming ASNE events, but it also highlighted some of the promoting electric propulsion college students and what they've done in the past couple of years. So we had videos from those boat races. I probably had a dozen people come up to me saying, first off, how in the world did you convince Surface Navy to show a video about ASNE? And the second was, those are awesome videos of these kids, having fun out on the water, racing boats around, both manned and unmanned. So from the highlight perspective, kind of promoting ASNE and marketing, that was great. The other speakers that were there, including the CNO, the Secretary of the Navy, the Vice Chief, and all the PEOs, both, and also SurfPac, AirPac, and Surfland and Airland, provided a really great perspective on operational perspective. One of the things that there was no press in, but it really highlighted the recent operations going on in the Red Sea, which was quite eye-opening. So I don't want to go into that on this. We'll have future opportunities to talk about that. But that was some of the exciting stuff that was going on during Surface Navy.
Kid, I would like to share with you and for the Talk a Little, Learn a Lot audience some of my plans for the podcast for this year. I always enjoy learning about platforms that have a unique engineering plant. As an example, in episode 16 last year, I interviewed Erhard Kohler, who is the MARAD program manager for NS Savannah, our nation's only nuclear-powered merchant vessel. She's now a National Historical Site located in Baltimore. I've now lined up an interview with Captain Roy Springer, U.S. Navy retired, to discuss USS Albacore. She's a unique submarine that was a test platform, the first ever teardrop hull for a submarine, and is now a museum in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So I hope you and others will look forward to that. Similar to the PEP races coming up, I'm an alumnus, believe it or not, of the International Human-Powered Submarine Races. It's more commonly known as ISR, just for International Submarine Races, but it's in fact human-powered. It's a competition to build a human-powered submarine and then race it in a test tank at the Naval Surface Warfare Center in Carter Rock. Competition is open to all comers, but most of the teams are college students. They're young folks that are studying like naval architecture, marine engineering, and the like. And I competed in the second ISR back in 1991, and then I served as a safety diver for the 7th and 8th ISR. And so when thinking about podcasts for this year, I reached out to the race committee and talked with Captain Jerry Revner, U.S. Navy retired, and he's going to connect me with some of the competitors. So I'll interview him in the race committee and some of the students as they prepare for the race. And it's another one that I hope to attend and hear about their designs and see who is in fact the fastest. So that should be
Great.
fun.
Sounds awesome.
I want to also say that I welcome input from the Talk a Little, Learn a Lot audience for suggestions of other topics they'd be interested in, or if there's folks that are interested in coming on the podcast and talking about naval engineering. So if there's anybody out there, please send me an email with your comments or suggestions at sphillips with two L's at navalengineers.org. Well, Kid, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners?
Well, sure. Yeah, I want to highlight additional upcoming events later this spring and summer that we have in the fall so that people can put this on their schedule and save the date. Today, actually, we had the ASNE team up in Philadelphia at the Naval Surface Warfare Center working with the NSWC Philly team to highlight, have our planning session for the Intelligent Ships Symposium that's going to be going on in Philadelphia in May. So 10, 11, 12 May. And that event is really great. We have a lot of mystic people, the Liberty Tech Bridge, Navalex, in addition to a lot of government personnel and a lot of companies, small, medium-sized companies that attend this. It's been a really popular event that we've had for years, focused really on the Philly team, but we have had people from all over the United States coming in to support that. Just a month later in June, from 10 to 12 June, at the Hampton Roads Convention Center, we have something called Mega Rust. We've been doing this for 24 years now. This year's event's going to be bigger and better than ever. We do one on the East Coast one year, and then that next year we do it on the West Coast. So we're back on the East Coast this year. But the Department of Defense canceled their corrosion maintenance conference going on this spring. So this event is not just going to be Navy and Coast Guard. It's going to be a joint event. So we're going to have a lot of Army and Air Force people at this event, and we think it's going to be the biggest mega rust that we've ever hosted. Some people on the planning committee said we should call it Giga Rust, but I think Mega Rust sounds a lot better. Um, and then after that, just a month or two later, we're back to our largest event that we host every year, the Fleet Maintenance and Modernization Symposium. That's taking place at the San Diego Convention Center from 23 to 25 September. We've already had the first planning committee meeting last week. We're going to have going every 2 weeks. So those are some of the upcoming events. And then later in the fall, looking to lock in the dates with the Office of Naval Research and for Combat Systems Symposium and Technology Systems and Ships in either mid-November or early December, based upon the availability for Naval Sea Systems Command. So those are the future events that I think the people should be putting on their calendar for save the date. They're great professional networking, professional education events, and we're really excited about hosting those events.
And they'll have information on the ASNE website how to sign up for each of those.
Yeah, all of it's on the website now. So when you scroll under symposium, you can see the pull down menu and you can look at the dates, information, sponsoring, exhibiting, registration. So yes, people can sign up already.
Kid, I think there's another deadline that's coming up pretty soon. And am I correct?
Yes, you are. So the 31st of January is the deadline for our annual leadership awards. So we've been sending out email blasts, putting social media posts out there. I do want to highlight that in addition to all of the great awards we give out every year, there is a new award that, thanks to the bequest by Mr. Anil Raj, we are highlighting an award for excellence in engineering innovation. So this award, the criteria is on our website. We're looking to highlight either a person or a team on great innovations in engineering. So that is a new award, and we were thankful to Mr. Raj for his generous bequest for us to highlight this. We're also 2 weeks later is our scholarship award. So students, juniors or seniors, or in graduate school, they can submit for a $4,000 scholarship. And so, yes, we have in the next couple of weeks, we have both awards that people should be submitting for, And students should be looking at our website and looking for the opportunities to submit a scholarship application.
Well, those are some exciting opportunities. Thank you then, Kid, for taking the time today to join me on Talk a Little, Learn a Lot to discuss the future of ASNE in 2025. I am sure that we will have you on the podcast again.
Thank you.